Hello, everyone. My name is Professor Brandon Miller. I am an English language expert, and I teach at the University of California. I'm very happy to be here with you today. Our topic today is very special: how to speak English fluently. This is something many learners want, and today I will help you take clear steps toward that goal. Speaking English with confidence can open many doors in life. It can help you at work, in school, and in everyday conversations. Please stay with me until the end of this session. I will guide you step by step using simple English and clear examples. I want to make everything easy to understand, so you feel confident and relaxed while learning. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment if you have any questions or thoughts. I would love to hear from you and support you in your English journey. Let's begin this exciting journey together, one step at a time. When I began my journey of learning English, I felt completely lost. I remember how hard it was just to understand even the simplest sentences. Reading was a little easier, but speaking? That was terrifying. Every time I wanted to say something, I first had to think in my native language, then try to translate it into English in my head. By the time I found the right words, the conversation had already moved on. It made me feel slow, embarrassed, and often frustrated. In those early days, I joined a small English class. The teacher only spoke English. I thought that would help me learn faster, but instead, I felt scared and uncomfortable. When she asked questions, I froze. I couldn't understand everything she was saying, and when she looked at me, expecting an answer, my mind went completely blank. The other students seemed more confident, and that made me feel even worse. I started thinking, maybe I'm not smart enough to learn this language. There were many times when I thought about quitting. I didn't like feeling embarrassed. I didn't like feeling behind. I avoided speaking in class and sat quietly, hoping the teacher wouldn't call on me. But deep down, I knew I wanted to speak English. I dreamed of traveling, studying abroad, and making new friends from different countries. And to do all that, I needed to speak the language. So one day, I made a decision. I said to myself, I will not give up. I don't need to speak perfectly. I just need to practice. That decision changed everything for me. I gave myself permission to make mistakes. I stopped trying to be perfect and focused instead on making progress, even if it was small. I started practicing at home by reading out loud. I listened to English podcasts and repeated short phrases. I stood in front of the mirror and had small conversations with myself in English. Slowly, something amazing started to happen. I became less afraid. My confidence began to grow. Instead of trying to translate every sentence, I began to think in simple English. I used short words and easy phrases, and even when I got stuck, I didn't panic. I just smiled and tried again. The more I practiced, the more I improved. It wasn't fast, and it wasn't easy, but I kept going. I also learned that I wasn't alone. Many learners around the world go through the same experience. Feeling shy, afraid, or confused is completely normal. The important thing is to keep moving forward. Every small step you take brings you closer to fluency. So now, it's your turn. If you feel afraid or stuck, remember this: you are learning, and that's something to be proud of. Don't wait until you feel ready or perfect. Just start speaking, even with small, simple words. Talk to yourself. Repeat what you hear in English songs or videos. Ask questions in class, even if you make mistakes. Be kind to yourself. Learning a language is a journey, not a race. The beginning is always the hardest, but you will get better, just like I did. And always remember this: fluency doesn't start with perfection. It starts with one brave word. Keep going. You're doing better than you think. When I reached the second stage of my English journey, something important changed. I realized that listening was a powerful tool. I had spent so much time trying to memorize grammar rules and study vocabulary, but I still couldn't speak fluently or understand native speakers easily. That's when I made a new decision. I would listen to English every single day. I started with English songs. At first, I didn't understand most of the lyrics, but I liked the music. I would play the same songs again and again. Sometimes I read the lyrics while I listened. Slowly, I started to understand more and more. A few words became sentences. Sentences became full meanings. I didn't force it. I just listened and let my ears get used to the sounds of English. Then I found short podcasts for English learners. They were simple, slow, and clear. I listened to them every day, in the morning, on the bus, while walking, or before sleeping. I didn't try to understand every word. I just listened. Some episodes were about daily life, food, travel, or simple conversations. Because the topics were interesting to me, I didn't get bored. I was learning, but it felt fun. One day, something amazing happened. I was watching a YouTube video in English, and I realized I could understand most of it without subtitles. I was shocked. I didn't know exactly when it happened, but all those hours of listening had trained my brain. My ears were catching the sounds, the rhythm, the common phrases. English didn't feel like a strange language anymore. It started to feel familiar. That's when I understood something powerful. Listening is input, and input is the first step to output. Speaking. If you want to speak English fluently, you must first listen a lot. Children do the same thing. They listen for months or even years before they speak. They hear their parents, songs, stories, and conversations. Slowly, they start to understand. And then, they begin to speak. It's the natural way to learn. I kept listening every single day. I didn't miss a day. Even if I was busy, I listened for at least 5 minutes. Some days, I listened for an hour. I listened while doing dishes, walking, or exercising. And each time I listened, I learned something new. A new word, a new sound, a better way to pronounce something. Listening also changed my thinking. I stopped translating in my head so much. Because I heard real English every day, my brain started to think in English. This made me faster and more confident when speaking. Now it's your turn. Start small. Don't feel like you have to understand everything. You don't. Just begin with 5 or 10 minutes a day. Choose something you enjoy. A song you like, a simple podcast, or a YouTube video with subtitles. Listen while you relax, while you clean, or while you walk. Make it part of your daily life. If you don't understand much at first, that's okay. Just keep going. The words will start to make sense. Your brain will begin to recognize sounds and patterns. You will get better without even realizing it. The key is consistency. Every day, even just a little. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up and listening again and again. So, are you ready to make listening a daily habit? Remember, this simple step can lead to big results. Keep listening, keep learning, and trust the process, because it works. When I moved into the next stage of my English journey, something became very clear. I needed to practice speaking. But there was a problem. I had no one to talk to. I didn't have English-speaking friends, and I wasn't living in a country where people spoke English. So I thought, how can I practice speaking if I have no one to speak with? Then I found the answer. I could speak to myself. At first, it felt strange. I would be in my room, walking around, saying things like, I'm brushing my teeth, or I need to finish my homework. I looked at objects around me and said their names. This is a chair. That is a book. I'm sitting on the bed. It was simple, but powerful. I made it part of my daily routine. In the morning, I would say, Good morning, I'm going to make breakfast. While getting dressed, I'd describe my clothes. I'm wearing a blue shirt today. While cooking, I'd say, I'm cutting vegetables. Now I'm boiling water. Every small action became a chance to speak English, and something amazing started to happen. My confidence grew. I wasn't afraid of speaking anymore because I was practicing every day with myself. I didn't need a teacher, a class, or a partner. I became my own speaking partner. This method helped me in many ways. First, I started to think in English more often. When I talked to myself, I didn't translate from my native language. I tried to think directly in English. This made me faster and more natural. Second, I learned to speak without fear. When you talk to yourself, there's no judgment. No one corrects you. No one laughs at your mistakes. It's a safe place to practice, and the more I practiced, the more confident I felt when speaking with others later on. Third, I improved my pronunciation. By saying the same words and phrases many times, I became more comfortable with the sounds of English. I listened to how native speakers said certain words, and then I tried to copy them while speaking alone. Sometimes I stood in front of the mirror and spoke. I looked at my face, my mouth, my body language. This helped me feel more comfortable and prepared for real conversations. It was like rehearsing for a show, and every day I got better. I even started to imagine conversations. I'd say, "Hello, how are you?" and then pretend to answer, "I'm fine, thank you. And you?" I imagined talking to a friend, a shopkeeper, a teacher. I practiced different situations, ordering food, asking for help, giving directions. It became a game, a fun way to build real fluency. Now, it's your turn. If you feel shy or don't have a partner to speak with, don't worry. You don't need anyone else to start. Just speak to yourself. Describe your day. Say how you feel. Talk about what you're doing right now. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be consistent. Try standing in front of the mirror and saying 3 simple sentences today. For example, I am learning English. I want to speak fluently. I believe in myself. The key is to make it a daily habit. A few minutes a day is enough. You are training your brain, your mouth, and your confidence, all at the same time. Speaking to yourself might feel strange at first, but it truly works. It helped me grow, and it can help you too. Keep talking. Keep believing. Your English voice is already inside you. Now it's time to let it out. At some point in my journey, something amazing happened, and I didn't even notice it at first. I was walking to the store, thinking about what I needed to buy. Suddenly, I realized something. I wasn't thinking in my native language. I was thinking in English. It was a huge moment for me. I thought, did I just say that sentence in my head in English? The answer was yes. It surprised me. For a long time, I had always translated every word in my head before I spoke. I would think in my native language, then try to find the English words. It made me slow. It made me nervous. And sometimes, it made me say the wrong thing. But now, without even trying, my thoughts were starting to form in English. That was a big breakthrough. So how did that happen? It didn't happen in one day. It happened slowly. Every time I listened to English, a podcast, a video, a conversation, my brain absorbed the sounds and the rhythm of the language. Every time I spoke to myself in English, I trained my brain to think in it too. I didn't need to translate anymore because my mind already understood the meaning. I started using small thoughts in English throughout my day. When I woke up, I thought, I'm tired. I need coffee. When I left the house, I thought, did I take my keys? At lunch, I thought, this food is good. These were simple, everyday thoughts, but they made a huge difference. By practicing this every day, I trained my brain to stay in English mode. English became not just a subject I studied. It became part of how I lived. This changed everything for me. I could understand people more easily. I could speak faster and more naturally. I stopped worrying so much about grammar and started focusing on communication. I became more confident because I was thinking like an English speaker. Now I want to tell you something very important. You can do this too. It doesn't matter where you live or how much English you know right now. You can start thinking in English today, and you don't need hours, just a few minutes a day. Start small. When you wake up, say to yourself, I am awake now. When you get dressed, think, I am wearing a white shirt. When you're eating, say, this is my lunch. It's tasty. These little thoughts help your brain stay in English. You can even turn it into a game. Look around your room and name things in English. Think short sentences about them. The window is open. My phone is on the table. It's raining outside. Over time, these small steps will lead to a big change. At first, your brain may want to go back to your native language. That's normal. But the more you practice, the easier it becomes. One day, just like me, you'll realize, I'm thinking in English. That's a real sign of fluency. When your thoughts begin to happen in English, your speaking becomes faster, your understanding becomes deeper, and your confidence grows. So don't wait. Begin today. Think in English, even just for 5 minutes. Do it while walking, eating, or before going to sleep. The more you think in English, the more natural it will feel. And that's when real fluency begins. When people ask me how I became fluent in English, I always tell them the same thing. I didn't do anything big. I just did small things every day. That's the real secret. Daily habits. You see, I didn't become fluent in 1 week or even 1 month. It took time. But what made the biggest difference was this. I created a daily English routine. Something I could do every single day, even when I was busy or tired. That routine changed my life. In the beginning, I told myself, I'll study English for 10 minutes a day, just 10 minutes. And I stuck to it. I didn't need to study for hours. I just needed to be consistent. Some days, I used flashcards. I wrote new vocabulary on small cards, and I reviewed them whenever I had time, on the bus, while waiting in line, or before bed. Other days, I read short stories for beginners. The language was simple, but it helped me see words in action. I could understand how sentences were built and how people used English naturally. I also watched videos in English, funny clips, cooking tutorials, or news made for learners. Watching helped me connect sounds with meaning. I listened carefully, and I sometimes repeated the sentences out loud. That helped me remember them better. But the most important habit I built was this: I didn't stop. Even when I was tired or busy, I told myself, just 5 minutes, just one small thing. And that small thing always helped. It kept my brain in English mode. It reminded me that I was making progress, even if it was slow. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do everything. You just need to do something every day. Now, it's your turn. Make a small English habit today. Choose one thing that feels easy and fun for you. Here are a few ideas. Listen to a short podcast. Choose a topic you like. Even 5 minutes is great. Read a short article. Pick something simple. News for English learners, or a blog post about your favorite hobby. Speak 5 sentences. Talk to yourself in English about your day, your plans, or your feelings. Write your thoughts. Keep a small English journal. Write 1 sentence about how you feel today. Then try 2. Then 3. These may seem like small steps, but they are powerful. Because every time you practice, your brain gets stronger. Your confidence grows. Your fluency improves. Little by little. Don't wait for a perfect time. Don't wait until you feel ready. The best time to start is now. Remember, English is not just something you study. It's something you live. And living it, even a little each day, will take you further than you ever imagined. Keep going. You are doing great. I still remember the first time I had a real conversation with a native English speaker. My hands were sweating, my heart was racing, and I kept thinking, what if I say something wrong? But then something amazing happened. I actually understood what they said. And even better, I was able to reply. Sure, I made mistakes. I forgot a few words. I said some things that didn't sound quite right, but none of that mattered. What mattered was that I was having a real conversation. I was connecting. That's when I realized fluency doesn't mean perfect English. It means communication. It means being able to express your ideas, your feelings, and your thoughts, even if it's not perfect. Before that conversation, I had spent months preparing myself with listening, reading, speaking to myself, and thinking in English. All those small habits added up. They gave me the confidence I needed. And when the moment came, I wasn't completely ready, but I was ready enough. That first conversation gave me power. It gave me the motivation to keep speaking, to keep learning, and to push myself even more. After that, I started looking for more chances to speak. I joined online groups. I found language partners, and I even practiced short conversations with tourists in my city. Every time I spoke, I became a little more confident. One of the best parts of speaking with real people is that you learn the natural rhythm of the language. You hear how words are connected, how expressions are used, and how people speak in real life, not just in textbooks. You start to understand jokes, emotions, and culture. That's when English really comes alive. Yes, it's scary at first. You may feel shy. You may feel like you're not ready. But here's the truth. No one ever feels completely ready. You have to take that step before you feel confident. The confidence comes after the action, not before. Now it's your turn. Start looking for ways to use your English in real conversations. Here are a few ideas. Find a language partner. There are many websites and apps where people want to exchange languages. You can help them with your native language, and they help you with English. Join an English group. Many social media platforms have groups for English learners. You can join chats, practice in comments, or even join live calls. Speak to yourself. Yes, this still counts. Practice daily conversations in your head or out loud. What would I say if someone asked me about my job? How would I explain my favorite food? Talk to strangers. If you feel brave, try short conversations in English with people around you. At a cafe, in a shop, or online. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you think you're good enough. You get better by doing, not by waiting. Every mistake is a lesson. Every conversation is a win. You are not just learning a language. You are learning how to connect, how to share, how to express yourself in a new way. And that is one of the most powerful things you can do. Keep going. Your voice matters. I hope my story has shown you something important. You don't need to be perfect, rich, or live in an English-speaking country to learn English. You just need to show up every day with a little courage and a lot of heart. I was not born knowing English. I struggled. I felt afraid. I made hundreds of mistakes. But I didn't stop. I practiced, even when I felt tired. I listened, even when I didn't understand. I spoke, even when I was scared. And you can do the same. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. Your journey is your own. Some people learn faster, some slower. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you keep going. Even 10 minutes a day can make a big difference if you do it with focus and love. Make English a part of your life. Think in English. Talk to yourself. Sing in English. Watch a short video. Read a simple story. Laugh when you make mistakes. Smile when you say something right. That's how you grow. The most powerful tool you have is your mindset. Believe that you can do it. Because you can. You have everything you need to become fluent. The tools are here. The tips are simple. What makes the difference is your action. The small steps you take every single day. Fluency is not about knowing every word. It's not about speaking like a native. Fluency is being able to express your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas, and feeling confident while doing it. That is possible for you. I want you to say this out loud right now. I can speak English. I am learning every day. I will not give up. And I want you to remember this. I believe in you. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to this channel, and share it with a friend who is also learning. And tell me in the comments, what's one thing you'll do today to practice your English? I'll be reading every comment, and I'd love to support you on your journey. See you in the next lesson. And until then, keep learning, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself.